Hello, my name is Tony Burtis, founder and lead investigator of Western Door Paranormal. Welcome to our show. Tonight's investigation keeps us in my hometown of Cheektowaga, N.Y. We're going to be doing a private residence. Now, I did some research, or at least tried to, on the location of this residence to see if there was any good reason why it could be haunted. I couldn't find anything, so which leads me to think, to ponder. It's kind of near Maryville, so could it have something to do with the Maryville hanging grounds? Could there have been some battle on this grounds long before the house was put up? Or maybe a whole nother building? I tried to research it, the people that lived there tried to research it, and none of us could find anything. So tonight we're going to be relying on the spirits, if they're there, and if they feel like communicating with us, to give us the lowdown on exactly why they've chosen to haunt this location. So basically it consists of a lower and a basement. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to see if we can actually get some answers for these people as to why the spirits linger. So why don't you join us and we'll see what we can actually catch.
My name is Nick. I live in an apartment for about a year and a half now. We had several activities. My wife would come down here and she would say that it sounds like three people were talking, like right next to her. Also, one time we were walking out the side door to go outside and she said she got poked. And then when we first moved in, there was nobody upstairs and it sounded like people were walking around and dropping heavy objects and everything. One night we were trying to go to sleep and it sounded like something or whatever it was hit her back and hit the bed before it hit her back.
Okay, before we actually conduct the investigation, we do what's known as a base sweep. And we do the base sweep with a K2 meter. Now, how does that affect an investigation? Well, what it does, you can take your readings of the electromagnetic fields in this area that you're going to be investigating, so you can measure what's normal and what's not paranormal. For example, if I light the K2 meter here, and I go to make my moves, and okay, I got like 3 lights here, on and off. Well, that means there's a heavy EMF field right here, so we know it's there. So if we're coming through in the dark, or whatever the case is, we won't think that's paranormal. So we do a sweep with the entire area that we tend to investigate like that, so we can pretty much pick that apart. And if we get a spot where there was no EMF, which looks like it's going to be kind of tough here, and we come up to that with a huge field, we know that there could possibly be something paranormal going on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually start the base sweep. We might as well start right where we are. Now, you might ask yourself, why are electromagnetic fields important? And what do they have to do with hauntings? It's a couple of things. One, spirits use electromagnetic fields to manifest, so it could make it easier for them to manifest. Like, say, for example, one of the stories was the spirits are always seen here. Well, it would make sense with a high EMF field because it makes it easier for them to appear. Now, on the non-paranormal side, it would explain why people are feeling the way they are. Because if you're exposed to a high EMF field for too long, it can make you paranoid, it can give you skin rashes, irritations, the feelings of being watched, all that sort of thing. So we could also use the electromagnetic hotspot as a way to debunk certain feelings. Like if this was all the way to the red continuously, if someone were to sit here, they would become very paranoid and every little thing would become a ghost to them. So that's also important. It's also why we measure these to help people get to grips with what's going on, so we could possibly go toward the non-ghost theory. So we know we have a field up here at this light, and it goes all the way down, almost, it stays on the floor. And when you get a 3 dot like that, that's significant. That's a mid-range electromagnetic field. So that's nothing to laugh at. Now, it's steady. A lot of times if this was paranormal, I wouldn't get it again. So this is a normal EMF field, which means this light here is actually leaking a high EMF. And as you can see, it's also the walls. So this entire hallway is very high with EMF.
We're gonna drop out of the Zoom board.
Wow, look at that.
What'd you get?
Now, this thing is leaking red. The doorbell's leaking red. That's actually a dangerous level of EMF. An electrician will tell you that. Okay, now, what I've noticed in this general area here is what we like to call a fear cage. It's soaked with high EMF. So it would explain a lot of the negative feelings that happen like through here. And once again, I go back to it. It can make a spirit easier to manifest, or it can make someone so paranoid that they might even begin to imagine things. So this is solid. This whole hallway's got solid. Have you ever had experience in this hallway?
Green Bay.
No?
No, that's like, that's the one that
Order how much?
Maybe.
when we investigated. That's where Tom said he seen a little kid
That
standing
seems a
there
little
because you could
fishy,
see the doorknob and then it
What you
disappeared.
do, Tom?
Really?
I wonder how much.
So a little kid apparition was actually seen in this hallway.
Oh, the Tom.
Okay, Tom. So that's the hallway where you saw the kid apparition was in the hallway. Over here,
It's like
you.
a shadow or something.
Yeah, there's a shadow over there.
Okay.
It's hanging on to it.
Not
It's
really
just going
nice
off like
happening.
crazy.
Wow.
Oh, not that I know.
Ah.
Limited?
So I'm thinking. All right. Okay, that's like almost all the way to red. That's all the way to red. But again, that's nothing unusual. It just helps explain a lot when it comes to super high EMF. Yeah, here's where I expected my K2 to pretty much explode. Yeah, we'll stay away from that.
Is that a beanbag chair? Or
What?
That's a ball.
oh,
Pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? Whoa, hello.
that's what we probably got in the kitchen.
It has to be because this is about where it would. That's about where the hallway is, which explains why the hallway is saturated. 'Cause that just goes up. So since down here it diminishes somewhat, that's radiating a lot. Do you guys spend a lot of time in the basement?
Not really. No more.
I guess you wouldn't, but
I mean, I don't like coming down here at nighttime, man.
which with all this EMF that explains why. Because the minute you come down here, you're gonna get all creeped out because of the high EMF. So that makes sense.
And that explains why we felt like we were being watched.
Yep, absolutely it does. No doubt about it.
We come down here, probably one or two people were standing next to you.
Yeah, it'll do that. That's natural. That's a natural response to being exposed to high EMF field. Because we had a pet. We had a cage right near the fuse box. It would go nuts constantly. Moved him. He was fine. So pretty much, through some weird experiment, proved it.
Well, that's interesting. Kind of.
But it's also what I expect.
Oh, never mind.
I mean, I haven't been to too many basements where there haven't been high EMF because that's where all your stuff is. That also explains why the average person, I don't care who they are, doesn't like going to the basement. It just makes way too much sense. Next to the K2 meter, there's also a touch flashlight. You touch the top of it, you make the light go. It's a regular flashlight. You can also touch that and play with that and make the light go on or off. That noise was more likely not paranormal. So go ahead. We have the lights right where we want them. Do not be afraid to come out and light the lights, just to let us know you're here. We have to start there. We're not going to rush you. You can do it at your pace. We have time. But we'd love to communicate. We'd love to hear your story. What was that? Hear that over there?
Guessing it's a sink.
No, that's not remotely paranormal, Zach. Again, there was a lot of high EMF runners, so I expect mad fluctuations. Can you? What that was? I don't know. For something here, can you move an object for us? Maybe close the lid to that washer.
That'd be insane.
You could wrap it up at that, right?
I'd go home. Okay, here I come.
So you hear that? I mean, if you really don't want us down here, you can close the lid to that washing machine. That possibly would end our night.
Probably be the shortest case in history.
No.
That was just the pipes.
Yeah, it's just a pipe shuttering.
It's
That
back
one.
down to 2.
You can put them over there. Over there is what?
Over there's
Oh,
1.
that was the furnace. You know that noise.
Megan, the ticket knife?
Well, now that's his knees.
That's my
My knees
kneecap.
do that too. That wasn't knees.
Mm-mm.
And that was up here, right?
Nothing
That's not.
came out of there.
Yeah.
I think it's Maria.
Maria?
Yes, back in 1 now.
Is Maria here? Are you back here? Come on out. Don't be afraid.
On cue.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why don't you say something? Because it liked your voice.
Mine?
Mm-hmm. Say something.
Okay. Maria, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Maria. Are you up here with us? If you're up here with us. Huh?
Somebody got a whistly nose.
I don't think it's me.
See.
You keep hearing like a little whistle, like a nose would do.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I think we might know. It's lighting up. Mm-hmm.
Do you know a Maria?
No.
No.
Someone does. This thing is.
Responding to Maria.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
It could be the little girl's name or the lady.
Are you a little girl? Burial ground. I mean, were you buried here?
Sometimes it'll be stuck at the second light, and then it'll go to the third light on and off, and then it'll go all the way down to 1, and there'll be nothing for a while, and then it'll do that, just what it just did. And then the EMF will go anywhere from like a 0.2 to like a 0.9,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll stay at like a 0.7 for a little while, and then it'll go back down, and then come back to. It's been doing it the whole time. We were actually like, you know what I mean? We were talking, getting it like, it was at like a 0.7. I said, can you take it up to a 0.9? It actually did go up to a 0.9. I said, can you take it to a 1.0? But it wouldn't go up. It started going back down. I really don't know.
So did the ball move?
No. So would you say it's fluctuating randomly, or is it doing it on cue?
Yeah. I mean, we ask a question and a K2 goes off, but the only weird thing was it was at like a 0.5 or 0.6. I asked it to go up to a 0.9, and it slowly worked its way up to a 0.9.
That's kind of significant. Did it stop at 0.9?
Yeah, it stopped at 0.9 for maybe 2 minutes, and then it started going back down. Other than that, like the K2's just been doing whatever it wants.
Pretty much same story downstairs. Randomized K2 hitting. Okay, this this is another part of the session where the video camera was down in the basement just doing surveillance. Now it's important to note, I wasn't in the basement. Again, a lot of my investigators were actually off premises going on break. There's only a handful of us there. Now the camera was positioned by the stairs, by the attic stairs. You're going to clearly hear what sounds like something either going up or coming down the stairs. Now, I wasn't in there at all. The basement was completely empty, and the door to the basement was closed. Had someone came down to do this, you would have seriously heard the doorknob, rattle, open up, and someone would have came down. So that's what makes this particular footage very significant. We are live. Activate my voice recorder too.
I don't know how to do yours. I don't break it.
Oh. Okay, Western Door Paranormal Session 3. Once again, we're in the basement with the girls. The spirit seemed to want it down here, so let's find out what it wants.
Did they know if it was a girl down here or a guy?
No, basically, it wasn't really clear with thinking girl. I thought I heard a girl.
Is there Maria down here? What's that other one you said?
There was Edward,
Maria and
Peter.
It just blinked when you said Peter. Peter? Are you down here? Edward? Do it again. Peter, if it's you, come out. Edward, come on out. Maria, come on out. We want to know what you're doing here. What's that?
The heater.
The heater clicking on. Is there something down here? Or something in the house? A teddy bear? I don't know if you heard that. There's something weird.
Like a high-pitched voice?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard it from here.
I picked that up a couple times, like almost a kid voice, right? Like a young
Yeah,
little girl.
Yeah, like I heard it from here. Like
Yeah.
a high-pitched saying something. I don't know what it was.
We were getting the same thing when we were down here. On break, they decided to go out for a bite to eat, so it was just me and a few people in the house. So I decided to go downstairs myself in the basement and do a little bit of work. It was a perfect opportunity because the noise reduction was low, and it would make more significance out of anything I caught. Now, as I was setting up and wandering around trying to make communication, there's a clear VVP that says wander. Now, VVP stands for Video Voice Phenomenon. It's very similar to an EVP, except that this voice phenomenon is caught on a video camera instead of a voice recorder. And a lot of times something will show up on a video camera that actually won't be on a voice recorder, so it's good to use both medias. Go ahead and check it out. Okay, it's just me, K2, and whatever else might be down here for a brief session. Just doing a little bit extra work. Okay, this concludes this case. All in all, it was a really productive investigation. We caught a lot of evidence, and we caught a lot of good personal experiences. I kind of went into the case not expecting to get too much, but as usual, we came out of the case with an awful lot, and we were really able to help the fellow that called us in.